The answer to the question, what does it mean that the Bible is literature, is of course a big topic. I'm going to give a mid-level answer by mentioning 4 things that make the Bible literary. I'm going to begin with the one that is obvious and provable, namely, the Bible consists of literary genres. That is the easiest way by which to identify whether a text is literary. The big genres in the Bible are narrative or story, poem, vision, and I would include epistle. We know that the Bible is a literary book because it consists of literary genres. Secondly, the subject of every work of literature is universal, recognizable human experience. Now, if that's an unusual or new way of looking at the content of the Bible, I would just encourage my listeners to operate on the premise that that is true and that the subject of literature is human experience, and then observe what opens up as they start to read the Bible in terms of that. Thirdly, and as a kind of correlative to that, it's a cliche in writing and literature courses to say that the task of a literary author is to show rather than to tell. To tell in this context means to state abstractly as an idea. To show means to embody or incarnate. So let's use the 6th commandment, which tells us abstractly, you shall not murder, as an example of telling, and the story of Cain as an example of showing. The same truth emerges from both of those, but the story of Cain takes us through an experience. It is filled with recognizable human experiences, harboring a grudge, giving in to an evil impulse. In fact, in the classroom, I stand in front of the whiteboard and ask students, what are the recognizable experiences? And the list runs to 20. So it's just full of universal human experience, concretely embodied. Novelist John Steinbeck said famously, the story of Cain is the signature story of the human race because it is everyone's story. That's what I'm driving at here. Fourthly, literature is definable as an art form. Its medium is words, but it possesses all the qualities that we associate with art and craft. So a work of literature is literary by virtue of being embodied in a literary genre, taking universal human experience as its subject, showing rather than telling, and being embodied in a form that we would call artistic.